Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday. I'm out of ideas again, which is why today we're gonna do another episode of Let's Chat. Well, I guess this one is actually pretty relevant to this channel since it's about monetization with ads. So yeah, I guess this one is a little bit more opinion oriented, but I hope you gather some insight from this anyway. So alright, without further ado, let us jump into this episode after the break.
This is 0612 TV.
Welcome aboard.
Hello and welcome to Let's Chat. Today we're gonna talk about monetization with ads and what I feel about this model. Now, first and foremost, I'm gonna tell you right away, yes, I am biased. Why am I biased? Because I'm using this method, it is earning me money, and I'm happy because of it. So, I don't think this can be 100% objective, though I will of course try my best to be. And in fact, speaking of myself, I think there is no better way to kick off this episode than to actually talk about my own case. Really, what I'm doing now is a three-way win-win-win situation for everybody, and here's the reason why. From my point of view, I upload videos. I don't have to worry about, paying to get my videos hosted. I don't have to worry about actually trying to advertise my site so that people will come and watch my stuff. All this is up on YouTube, right? And YouTube pretty much just handles all of this stuff for me. What's even more awesome is that with the Partners program, well, I'm getting paid for making videos. Then from YouTube's point of view, obviously they like it. Why? Because they're getting a cut of the ad revenue. It is in their interest to make me a better YouTuber, because the more videos I make, the more ad views I get, the more they earn as well. It is also in their interest to keep this site running as smoothly and just as problem-free as possible, since of course there is now a direct bearing on their income. Then it comes down to you. I make educational content, so if you watch my content and you learn something, well, you benefit. Of course, if you choose to watch some other content, maybe you benefit by being entertained. Maybe you benefit by being de-stressed. Whatever it is, you benefit in some way or another. And what's cool about it from your point of view is that people can be working really hard to produce this content, and yet you don't have to pay a single cent to actually watch this stuff. So as a viewer, what you're losing out on is just a chunk of your time, which, you have to use to watch an ad. So perhaps that might not sound optimal, but then we consider the alternatives. That is either I do this for free, or I actually put my content behind a paywall. As things stand right now with me, honestly, if I were to do my stuff for free, it's probably not that bad. But you can imagine people who are doing YouTube full time. Without this kind of revenue, things won't be quite as lucrative for them as they are now. The alternative is, you don't get to see my stuff unless you pay a certain amount every month. Would you do that? I mean, I'm sure there are at least a handful of you who like my content enough to do that. But the problem is, if I started out that way, you wouldn't even be able to find my content in the first place. In other words, this current setup is the most optimal. Really, you don't have to spend any amount of money to watch my stuff, and if you like my stuff, you'll be hanging around more and you'll be watching more of my stuff. In fact, as things stand at the present moment, despite the fact that I've been doing YouTube videos for quite a few years now, I still wouldn't be able to survive if I were to actually move my stuff behind a paywall. In fact, as things stand and at the rate they're going, this model is still perfect for me for as long as, 5 to 10 years ahead. Having said that, I understand the problem with ads. People don't like to watch ads, especially ads that stand in the way of the content that they actually want to see. In all honesty, I don't have a diplomatic solution for that. I know the solutions that most people will turn to, and that of course is an ad blocking tool. So then that steers the conversation in the direction of ad blocking. Is ad blocking a very good idea? What kind of effects does it have on content creators? Personally, I'd say I really cannot stop you if you choose to use an ad blocking tool. I'd just like to remind you that this is my only means of income at the current, state of things. Do also understand that when you block ads, whoever the content creator is will not be able to get, a little bit of income back in that sense. Therefore, my stance, which actually agrees with quite a lot of bigger YouTubers, is that, well, if you wish to support me, do actually, whitelist my channel. What this means, of course, is that the ad blocker will not block ads coming from my channel, and, that way I'll get a little bit back for what I'm doing. Personally, and in all honesty, I don't see use of ad blockers as being, strictly unethical. I do think it's nice if you don't use them. I don't feel it's wrong per se. And the reason for that is, in the first place, we shouldn't be putting all our eggs in one basket in this sense by only relying on advertising as a means of income. Obviously, right now I'm still in a position in life where I don't have to actually worry about feeding myself or paying the bills. Obviously, that day will eventually come, and if I still choose to do things online, which I probably will, then obviously I cannot just rely on ad revenue. In fact, I shouldn't even be relying on just YouTube alone. Then that raises a pretty interesting question. I know other YouTubers who are like gamers or any other kinds of personalities, they'll do things like sell merch, maybe even have their own website with subscriptions. And the thing is, can I do any of those things? As far as I'm concerned, there really is no personality attached with this channel. I mean, it's just me talking about computing concepts, photography concepts, things like that. The key behind this channel is not me as a person, but the content. And as a result, it's difficult to sell me branded merchandise because, I just don't represent myself in that way on this channel. So yeah, now that we've come to this part of the discussion, I'm interested to see what you guys are interested in, if I ever need to monetize this channel in a different manner. Obviously, this discussion doesn't mean that I'm changing anything, with regard to the way I'm doing things right now. So yeah, don't worry about that. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not changing the style of my videos. I'm not changing the frequency of my videos. I'm just interested to see, how else can I make some money in the event that I need to do so. I've actually been thinking of doing this thing called Fiverr. It's just an online platform that you can do some services and people pay you for that. I wanted to do things like image editing, some voice work, but yeah, that is just something that I've been considering. Right now I don't have the time to do that, but who knows, maybe in the future I will. So, hi. Well, this video was shot on the 1st of March 2014. It is currently being edited on the 29th of March 2014. I know there is quite a big gap, I guess, between these two dates because I'm doing the whole backlogging thing. And guess what? You're only seeing this video in late April. So I suppose something does need to be done about, updating the contents of this particular episode, especially in the sense that when I actually shot this video, this thing called Patreon didn't really exist yet. Well, I guess it did exist, it just wasn't as popular as it is now. At any rate, obviously Patreon is now one more option that I could consider. Of course, I'm not saying I'm considering it, I'm not really thinking about it yet, but well, it's another thing that, could possibly factor into this. So yeah, not to ruin the entire discussion, I'm just here to add the fact that, well, Patreon is now one more thing we can think about. So yes, still do leave your comment about what you might be interested in me doing. Perhaps if a lot of you suggest Patreon, I will take a look at it, even though right now what I really want to do more is Fiverr. Anyway, as of the time of recording, I'm really too busy with school, so well, we're gonna have to postpone this whole thing until I have more time. Which actually, on the day you're watching this, would be pretty soon. Well, I won't say any more here, let us go back to the video. So yeah, this has pretty much been a very long and kind of circular discussion. We started at ads, we moved on to talk about me as a channel, and then we looked at ad blocking, we looked at how I can continue sustaining myself. Yeah, it's been quite a journey. I guess I can conclude by saying that really, I want to thank you all for the continued support. I know that, well, not all of you are using ad blocking, seeing as that I'm still getting, a certain amount of revenue. In all honesty, I hope things stay this way. As for any other content creator, I'm sure they'll want to be able to receive a little bit in return for what they're doing. I personally think this model is a pretty good idea in and of itself. Despite the small inconveniences that we have put through, we are essentially generating money out of nothing, so surely that has some merit. Alright, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. Hopefully you've gained some insight into things from my perspective when it comes to advertising. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any comments, queries or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out your official Twitter account for this channel at twitter.com/0612tv. As always, I appreciate every like, favorite, and subscription you give me. But until next time, you're watching 0612 TV. Let us go back to the video. This light. Yeah, that's how dark it actually is. Because I have this ring light here, which you cannot see because it is too bright. That's what happens when you do video. You need light.